Ball up high. Called on the swing there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Called on the corner there, and we have now 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. How's that one out? Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Called on the strike. Second strike out of the game. 2 out. Brings to the plate first baseman Ryan Merriman. It's down low for ball 1. Low again for ball 2. Just missing the outside corner, ball 3. Called strike, 3 balls, 1 strike. Called ball 4. Merriman becomes the first player to reach base. Brings to the plate pitcher Marshall Cronk. Low again for ball 1. One called strike by the umpire. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one relayed across to the first baseman for the 3rd out of the innings. And after the first half of the first innings on no hits and a base on balls, Queensland scored no runs. Defensively for Queensland, we will have Marshall Cronk pitching to James Purcell. First base will be Ryan Merriman. At second base we have Joshua Del Simon. At third base we have William Bailey. Shortstop Terrell Priestley. At left field we have Danny Brown. Centre field Sean Goffer. And at right field we have Carlos Waller Allen. And the first 3 hitters to face for Western Australia in the bottom half of the first will be Scott Patterson, the centre fielder, the DP Mark Harris, and shortstop Brendan O'Byrne. Brings to the plate DP Mark Harris. Inside, ball 2. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. That's pitched down low, called strike, evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just up. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count. Ooh, dropped by the second baseman, and Mark Harris advances to second base. First pitch is a ball. Ball on the inside corner, 2 balls. At the plate hitting is Brendan O'Byrne, the shortstop for Western Australia. Fouls that one out. First strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, with Mark Harris on second base after a muff fly 4. 1 out in the second half of the first innings. That one's inside and gets O'Byrne. Gets him a walk. Puts runners at first and second base and brings to the plate the catcher, Andrew Havercroft. Mark Harris seems to have taken a dislike to the hit by pitch ball there and had words with Marshall Cronk. Umpires have restored peace, and here we go again with catcher Andrew Havercroft. Called strike. No balls, one strike is the count on Andrew Havercroft, the catcher. Runners at first and second. Bottom half of the first innings. One's a little high. Cronk seems to be having a little bit of trouble with his control this afternoon. Havercroft fouls that one back for the count to remain for the count to become 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nil all in the bottom of the first. Runners at first and second. Paints the outside corner with that pitch for the second of the innings, a standing strikeout for Andrew Havercroft. That one's down a little low on the right fielder, hitter number 5, Kyle Francis. Cronk takes up his stance again, gets his signal, throws that one, and Kyle Francis fouls that down the right field line. 1 ball, 1 strike.
thinking about, so when they walk out, when they're doing their warm-up, you double check because everybody's the right place. When the bat comes up, he's supposed to be where he is. If I get thrown, the person will come up, come down to him. You're my backup. Yeah, since back home I was able to see top ball. Oh, I see a little bit of a few states over here, yeah. This level. That'll be cool. Yeah. Let's talk some else. Oh, a couple boys in that team, one from Harbour Bay. And this thing? Yeah, your team. Oh, yeah. It's a very good opportunity. Take it on, you know. I thought it was a tech over here. Oh, yep. She said she comes to visit me and your team. She's transferred her kids to Brisbane. They've been now they're moving to Logan, yeah. Your boy, her boy moving to Logan. Oh, for Logan, so yeah. But she's going to put her own club in. Yeah. We know the game. We played the game. Yeah, a lot of people can't teach the sport. And I've seen her with the women all the way through.
Tyrell Priestley fouls that one back. Two is the count now on Tyrell Priestley. Whacks that one into right field for a base hit and the first base hit of the day. Coming to the plate is the right fielder Carlos Waller-Allen. Tyrell Priestley is at first base and we have one out after the fly to right field by Sean Zoffer. Waller-Allen gets one called. Strike one. Runner at first base, one out. Oh, attempted butt there by Waller, missed. Makes the count, no balls, 2 strikes. That one's called high, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Come on, bro.
1 out, runner at first. Swing and a miss there for Carlos Waller-Allen and a strikeout. That's the 3rd strikeout for Western Australia's pitcher Tyson Duncan. Brings to the plate the 3rd baseman William Bailey. 2 out, runner at first. Bailey leaves that one outside. Called ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Big swing and a miss there from Bailey. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bailey gets some of that, pops it up. The second baseman tracks around, takes the fly ball. That'll be all there is for the Queensland side in the top of the 4th. And 1 hit. They scored no runs. Once again, the starting lineup for the Queensland side. Marshall Cronk is pitching to James Purcell with Ryan Merriman at first base. At second base, we have Joshua Del Simon. At third base, William Bailey. Shortstop, Tyrell Priestley. In the outfield, we have left fielder Danny Brown, centre fielder Sean Goffer, and right fielder Carlos Waller-Allen. The first 3 hitters to face for Western Australia, and this, the bottom of the second, will be Sean Duxbury, Dawson Summers and Nathan Brown. I'll take this opportunity to say thank you to the ACT Softball's partners in Canberra, the Tradies, I-10 Athletic, Momentum Sports and Rehabilitation, Canberra Toyota, Pacific Facilities Management and Keegan Carroll Photography. Always great to have good sponsorship on board. Sean Duxbury steps into the plate. Cronk delivers, and that one's a little high and called ball. Cronk loses total control of that pitch, and it ends up at the back net for ball 2. Western Australia and Queensland sitting very close to each other on the ladder at the moment, with Queensland on 12 points and Western Australia on 10. And could be a very important game for the final standings leading into this evening and tomorrow's finals. Called strike, that one, to bring the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Sean Duxbury, the first baseman, is the hitter for Western Australia, facing Marshall Cronk from Queensland. Delivers again, fouls that one deep for a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one called low by umpire, and that brings a count to 3 balls, 2 strikes. Drives that one, but unfortunately goes foul, so the count remains 2 balls, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Your umpires for today's game are at the plate Trevor Murphy, at first base Lee Evans, second base Damien McCauley, and at third base we have Jason Carter. Sean Duxbury is the lead-off here in the bottom of the second, with a quality at-bat so far, having faced 7 pitches and making Cronk work on every single one of them. Cronk delivers again. He pops that one up, unfortunately goes straight back to the shortstop, who tracks around and takes that catch. And that'll be the first out in the bottom of the second, bringing to the plate second baseman Dawson Summers. Dawson fronts up for his first pitch, received from Cronk. That's a ball down low. Big swing and a miss on that one from Dawson Summers. Evens the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Pops that one out into the hole. Left fielder comes running in, takes an easy fly ball. That'll be the second out of the innings, bringing to the plate the third baseman, Nathan Brown. Brown takes the first pitch high for a ball. Last time the two teams met, Queensland were successful, winning 5 runs to 4 over Western Australia in game 15 of the tournament this year. Brown gets plenty of that one, but drives it foul. Gives us a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. Oh, that one's called by umpire Trevor Murphy for 2 strikes, 2 balls. Cronk delivers again. Pops that one up, but it's going to be out of play and a foul ball for the count to remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Just saw something, you know, he sees things. And when I go to the
Bottom of the second innings here with Western Australia leading 1-0 and runners at first and second. Brings to the plate DP Mark Harris. Leaves that one up high, ball one. Coming to the top of the third, and the lead-off hitter will be the second baseman Joshua Del Simon, followed by James Purcell and Danny Brown.
He's going to piss out the ball, the catcher's doing this, and you can see guys walking up going.
Let me say to the coach, oh, I don't sort of want to play this one.
And so you see guys on the edge of the box, young kids, you know, 40, 50-year-olds on the edge of the box, like, shit. And then I just get David just on the outside, just keep If they come in if they come into the box, focus you on the inside. But he went through that age group, nationals when I took them, 17s, and we.
Is he the same age as? Oh, you played with Jerome a bit, eh?
Yeah. I coached there at Mount Albert side of
Who was that club? Oh, Ramblers.
No, Mount Albert.
High school.
Private school.
Stepping
Probably go and do the high school, the private schools as well. He always did Marist.
Stepping to the plate for the top of the third innings is the second baseman Joshua Del Simon. Takes a called strike on the first pitch.
He said both teams are married boys. Just keep recording.
Sorry, I've seen him cheat a few times.
I've never seen him cheat. I've seen him bend the lawn.
Manipulate the rules a bit then.
Call ball on the outside. It's another called ball on the outside enough. Gives us a count of 3 balls, 1 strike.
Good side, finding playing, and
Misses very high with that one. Gives the hitter Joshua Del Simon a base on balls. And that'll bring to the plate the original lead-off hitter for the Queensland side, catcher James Purcell. Purcell pops the bunt down there, misfielded by all and sundry, gets himself a base hit, and we have runners at first and second. Next hitter to the plate is the left fielder Danny Brown. Tries to lay a bunt down, bunts it foul. 1 strike. Another attempted bunt there from Brown just bounces foul. Gives him a count of 2 strikes.
I know where you come from, by the way. That's good because I get the best. Push bunt, you get a good effective push bunt, you can roll basically right hand side of the field between the left. You can roll it through there. That's a single one. Especially when they train.
That one gets away from the catcher there. Both runners advance. We now have runners at second and third.
He's pissed off over there. Third baseman doesn't come, so he's the only one coming in. Third baseman's over here. He's already pissed off. Mike chooses an open, a single, every time. You don't have to pull out the park. Man, he was amazing. Amazing player. But Dean could hit.
That one called low, asked to check for the umpire. The answer is no, and so it is a ball. Makes the count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, well, Dino probably just, all I'm hoping is like, in fact, someone catches it or something. But he also had that one where he could bounce it. Yeah. Like the time the ball comes down.
Swinging strikeout there for Brown, retires the first of the innings. Score remains 1-0 in favour of the Western Australian side, but the Queenslanders in a strong position here with 1 out and runners at second and third. Brings to the plate first baseman Ryan Merriman.
But yeah, he was just amazing. And I was there when the club busted up and then looking at the Yep.
Called low for ball 1.
Dion went to Metro. Roman State. It's all internal dramas. It wasn't the best team in the country. We never Piney State,
Merriman steps back in, receives another ball on the outside, the count of 2 balls, no strikes. Merriman pops that one up, gets out of the play for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Delivers a terrific pitch on the outside corner there for a called strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the first baseman Ryan Merriman. Swing and fouls that one off. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Merriman chases that one a little high, gets plenty of it, fouls it back. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Merriman fouls that one back again. Himself gets him into quality at bat time, having faced 7 pitches and making Duncan work very, very hard in the heat of the day. On deck circle is the number 4 hitter Cronk with runners at first and second. Puts Queensland in quite a strong position. 1 out at the top of the 3rd innings, trailing 1-0. Merriman puts that one into right field. Right fielder tracks it, falls into foul territory. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes.
right, he had it. He just, you had to hit those corners. If you hit it in the air, 30 metres inside, so good. Coach Hucker really close with the ball once. Yep. There's a tournament down in Hamilton. Yep, Fraser Park. Yeah, they won those.
Leaves that one up high, fills the count at
The trees are about
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Is it Bristol's? I think it was Bristol's was one of the biggest rights. Yeah. Oh, yep. My mate tournament because we come up, we had a couple of A-grade sides come down and play. It's all like long. So, Ramblers are playing in...
Merriman steps in again, faces the next pitch, which is up and away, gets away from the catcher, the run scores. Runner at second advances to third, and Merriman gets himself on with a base on balls.
Johnny, just come get me the trees and all that. He goes, there's 400 under the trees. Johnny goes, comes up to the bat, and he looks at it. And that's the challenge. Fucking hit a 400 feet.
Brings to the plate the number 4 hitter and pitcher, Marshall Cronk.
But that big open down the start.
Cronk goes chasing that first pitch, fouls it back, strike 1. Runners at first and third here in the top of the third, with the scores locked at 1-all. Cronk get one inside, takes him on the leg for a hit by pitch ball. Moves him up to first base, moves Merriman around to second base, and we now have loaded bases with only 1 out. Brings to the plate the centre fielder, Sean Goffer.
Teams down there, the guys just lollipopping. I'm standing on third, and I'm up on the bench going, "We've made a kick and killed you. He did pull everything." Made a line up with Davey, Damo.
Marshall Cronk has been replaced by brother Danny as a runner at first base, as the pitcher steps back in ready to go. Goffer leaves that one high. Catcher asks the umpire, the answer is no, ball 1.
He was playing for Giants. He was playing for Giants. Oh yeah, the only that's what they
Big swing and a miss from Sean Goffer there, and he was the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Loaded bases with the scores at 1-all. Ball low and outside brings the count to 2 balls, 1 strike. Offer fouls that one back, evens the count up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Loaded bases for Queensland with 1 out, and the score's tied at 1-all.
I give it the first pitch now. Hurry up and hit it to a fielder. I don't want to go into deep counts.
Good play from the third baseman, relays the ball to the catcher at home plate for the second out of the innings.
On, Terrell!
Brings to the plate Tyrell Priestley. Big swing and a miss from Priestley. No balls, 1 strike. Priestley puts that one into play, goes foul, fielded by the third baseman. All players will return. Priestley will come back with a count of 0 balls and 2 strikes.
Speed for speed. Is that the way it goes, big boy?
I'll come out of retirement. I've got a shirt for you. I've got my own already.
Priestley strikes out swinging for the end of the innings, but not before, where Queensland were able to level the game up at 1 run all, and on 1 hit and 4 base on balls, they scored their 1 run. Score is now 1-1. That's the coming into the bottom of the third. Queensland have re-entered Marshall Cronk for Danny Cronk, and he'll continue on the mound pitching for the Queensland team. Bottom of the third innings for Western Australia. We'll see Brendan O'Byrne as the lead-off hitter, followed by Andrew Havercraft and Kyle Francis. O'Byrne steps in, receives the first pitch, whacks that into left field. Diving attempt by the left fielder falls short, and O'Byrne has himself a base hit. Brings to the plate the catcher, Andrew Havercroft. Big swing there from Havercraft, fouls that one off. So no balls, 1 strike. The runner at first base is Brendan O'Byrne after a base hit to left field. Havercraft steps back in, ready to receive from Cronk. Attempted bunt. Gone foul. Second strike of his at bat. No balls, 2 strikes. Havercraft puts that one into play. Fielded by pitcher Marshall Cronk. Put out on the tag. First out advances Brendan O'Byrne to second base. Bottom of the third innings, the score remains 1-1 with Western Australia with a runner at second. Brings to the plate the right fielder Kyle Francis. Takes a strike on the outside corner for strike 1. Chases that one up high, gets a foul tip on it for strike 2. Francis digs in and fouls that one off. Count is still no balls, 2 strikes with one out and a runner at second here in the third. Oh, called on the inside corner there. Francis doesn't seem too impressed by it, but that's strike 3 and he'll be retired. Second out of the innings and bring to the plate the first baseman, Sean Duxbury. Called low from umpire Trevor Murphy. Ball 1. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Run at second is Brendan O'Byrne, having got a safe hit at the top of the innings. 2 out. Sean Duxbury at bat. Leaves that one for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Bottom of the third innings, scores are locked at 1-1. Western Australia have a runner at second. 2 out. Called strike there from Trevor Murphy. 3 balls, 1 strike on the hitter Sean Duxbury. Called strike 2, loads the count up. This is a count of 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The runner steals over to third on that play. Called safe. O'Byrne caught the Queenslanders napping on that occasion, got himself across there, put himself in a strong scoring position. Ball gets hit down to the third baseman, relayed across to first base, Merriman. That'll be all there is for the innings, and on 1 hit, the Queensland and the Western Australians scored no runs. top of the fourth innings for the Queenslanders. The first person to face will be the right fielder Carlos Waller-Allen, followed by William Bailey and Joshua Del Simon. Just reiterating the Western Australian fielding lineup. We have Tyson Duncan pitching to Andrew Havercroft. At first base we have Sean Duxbury. At second base Dawson Summers, and at third base Nathan Brown. At left field, shortstop we have Brendan O'Byrne. At left field Dion Harrison. Centre field Scott Patterson, and right field Kyle Francis. Game day partners for ACT softball, who are always a very valuable commodity in any sport. Canberra, the tradies, ID Athletic, Momentum Sports and Rehabilitation, Canberra Toyota, Pacific Facilities Management, and Keegan Carroll Photography. The ladder as it stands at the end of yesterday's play sees the ACT out in front, having played 9 games, won 7 and lost 2, followed by Queensland, who have played 9 also, won 6 and lost 3. New South Wales have also played 9, won 5 and 4, followed by Western Australia, 9 played, 5 wins, 4 losses. Victoria played 9, 1 and won 3 of them and lost 6, and South Australia lingering at the bottom, having played 9 and won 1 game and lost 8. Seems to have been a very dominant tournament for the ACT so far, having scored 70 runs for and only 28 against. And the next best for that would be New South Wales, who are actually in third spot, having scored 60 and only conceded 47. So very interesting coming into finals tomorrow with the ACT and Queensland at the top of the ladder, closely followed by New South Wales, Western Australia. And if the Victorians are good enough to win a couple of games in the next in today, they could sneak into fourth spot. As we take a small heat break here for the innings, and we'll come back to you very shortly.
Good luck. I'll put it quietly in the red. No, this is the last game. Yeah. When you guys come down on Sunday at 16 degrees, jackets are off. You get a came out to find some more clothes. Give me the blankets.
Okay, no, it's good.
Lawn system.
Yeah,
so you don't have to read.
yeah.
You want to see it change it day to day. One day it'll be 16, next day it'll be 35. Then I'll go back to 18. You just don't care until you get up in the morning.
That's my aim.
I love it. I love it. It's freezing. I'm loving it. So I ran away from the cold. I like this heat. How's the ticket? Ticket reads just nice to me. How many
Yeah,
tickets
right.
did you end up getting?
Oh,
I had 7.
Yeah.
Not too many more, eh? You got bypass. No, we don't want to have to allow that. Well, it's diabetes.
Yeah, you get stitches.
Well, the blockage is clear, but when you have diabetes, it causes all the organs of cells in it. It's just diabetes right now. There's no pressure on the kidneys or on the heart anymore. So. I haven't had a zipper yet. And when I come out of surgery, they give you a choice of.
Right, stay, yeah.
And the hospital, the max they'll give you is 8 a day.
So at the top of the fourth here in the midday game at the Hawker Softball Complex, we have Queensland and Western Australia locked at 1-all. For Western Australia pitcher Tyson Duncan has struck out 5 and allowed 2 hits for their 1 run. And for Queensland, pitcher Marshall Cronk has struck out 3 and allowed 2 hits, 3 hits for their 1 run. So top of the 4th as they come back ready to play. Umpires have had a drink. 1-1.
All I have now is Ashman.
My heart, that's all I have now.
Yeah, just that's all I have.
I do once a year now. I have an ultrasound.
So the lineup for Western Australia as we come into the top of the 4th is Tyson Duncan is still pitching to Andrew Havercraft. At first base we have Sean Duxbury. At second base Dawson Summers. Third base Nathan Brown. Shortstop Brendan O'Byrne. Left field Leon Harrison. Centre field Scott Patterson. And Kyle Francis is the right fielder. Batting for Queensland in this, the top of the 4th, will be Carlos Walter Allen. Takes the ball high. Steps back in, receives. Gets one called on the outside corner, ball 2. Called strike there from umpire Trevor Murphy. Makes the count 2.
They were doing all the testing. But I had to sit there all day, I couldn't eat. And you can't move or else you would have broken.
Waller fakes to slap hit.
Come on, Loz, come on, bro.
Lets that one go. 3 balls, 1 strike.
You get strapped to the table and got all the monitors. And he goes, uh-oh.
Duncan loses total control of that one, allows a base on balls to Carlos Waller Allen. And at the top of the 4th innings, stepping in for the Queenslanders will be William Bailey.
You're going for cabbage. What's cabbage? Can't go bypass. Okay. Are you serious?
Oh, Bailey puts one down. A little bit of confusion there from the Western Australians. Behind the runner. Runner advances to 3rd. Hitter advances to 2nd. And with none out, we now have runners at 2nd and 3rd.
Instruction would not have happened, he wouldn't have got home. So we still would have had it.
I believe it is. Next belief. No, it wasn't at all.
Stepping into the box for the Queenslanders is Joshua Del Simon. Lets one go for ball 1. Another pitch down low for ball 2. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. None out here in the top of the 4th innings with the second baseman Joshua Del Simon hitting. Del Simon fouls that one back. This is a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. Another attempted bunt fouled off. Now gives us a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at second and third. Queensland in a very strong scoring position in this, the top of the 4th inning.
Safety squeeze. Safety squeeze.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Del Simon. As Duncan comes back in again, ready to fire. Gets that one way up, well caught by catcher Havercraft. That one gets away, was a definite run. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As Del Simon steps back in, ready to receive from Duncan. Takes his signal. Drives that one into the outfield. That looks like it's going to fall safely. Diving attempt by the right fielder. No catch. And a run scores as Del Simon gets himself around to second base. So once again we have runners at second and third, and bringing to the plate original leadoff hitter James Purcell.
Get back out there, son. Step up.
Attempted bunt from Purcell, fouled back. No balls, 1 strike. None out with runners at first and second. 1 run having already scored gives Queensland the lead 2-1. Big swing and a miss from Purcell. No balls, 2 strikes. Purcell steps out, stops Duncan in the middle of his wind-up, gets himself settled again, pops back in, ready to receive, gets one way up high for ball 1.
Oh, back to
2 strikes.
Don't stand there.
You fellas looking at it.
Well, blocked from the catcher there. That one got away from Duncan into the dirt for 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pops that one up, being tracked by the centre fielder, comes in, takes the catch. No runners advance. That's the first out of the innings. Brings to the plate the left fielder, Danny Brown.
He's slapping a lot for years. It's not on, he'll send it.
Lets that one down. Low call from the umpire. That's ball 1. That one gets up and gets away from the catcher. The runner at third base did not get a good read on that, stayed at home, and therefore there were no runs scored. 2 balls, no strikes.
You would have got that 5 years ago.
Really? It's like 10.
Attempted slap there from Danny Brown. Brings the count to 2 balls, 1 strike. Another attempted slap from Brown. Evens the count up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Makes contact with that one. Brown fouls it back. Gives us a count. Remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big swing and a miss for Brown for the second out of the innings. Will bring to the plate Ryan Merriman, the first baseman. His last at bat, both at bats, Merriman has walked. Good block from catcher Andrew Havercroft. One's down low for ball 1. That one's up. Havercroft gets up and stops it from going any further. For ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. One goes the opposite end of the scale, down low. 3 balls, no strikes. That one's right across the belt buckle for called strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike. One's up. Well done by catcher Havercroft again to get up there and get that one. Ball 4. Loads the bases up. Brings to the plate Marshall Cronk, the pitcher. In his last 2 at-bats, he had a 6-4, and on last at-bat was a HPD, hit by pitched ball. Cronk steps in, ready to receive from Tyson Duncan. Has a swing, hit straight into his own foot for foul ball, strike 1. Top of the 4th innings, and the Queenslanders now lead 2-1 with runners on each of the bases, 2 out, and Marshall Cronk at the plate. Umpire's asked to check there. The answer again is no, and that's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Marshall Cronk. Loaded bases, 2 out. As Cronk hits that one hard, what a fantastic catch from the left fielder. Diving to his right, diving backwards. Fantastic catch. Horizontal. Dion Harris, take a bow. You've just saved your team 3 runs. So coming into the bottom of the fourth, with the Queenslanders having scored a run there and taking the lead 2-1, the hitters to face will be Dawson Summers, the second baseman, followed by Nathan Brown, the third baseman, and Dion Harris, and who just took that magnificent catch. The left fielder will be the number 3 hitter in this innings.
I don't care that.
Oh, there you go. You've got a WA hat on this, you know.
Related
No. Same ball. All of it just drops. It's a heavy ball. Oh, we don't speak Kiwi here. That heavy ball. That's funny. That's heavy down ball. Bogart. Hard pass and just die.
Dawson Summers faces his first pitch here in the bottom of the fourth innings for a called ball. 1 ball, no strike. That one's called strike from umpire Trevor Murphy. Gives the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Mr. Blackshaw.
There's another called strike for 1 ball, 2 strikes on second baseman Dawson Summers.
How were you? Yeah. I hope it was all good.
What does that ever happen?
Summers fouls that one back. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh, hit that one across to the second baseman, relayed across to Merriman, the first baseman, for the first out of the innings. Nice little 4-3 there will bring to the plate the third baseman, Nathan Brown.
I've seen some Z's, some Z's, and some X's. Yeah.
Called strike there from umpire Murphy. No balls, 1 strike. Brown goes looking for that one, chases a high pitch for no balls, 2 strikes. That one hits the butt of the bat. Count remains at no balls, 2 strikes. Brown chases that, fouls that one back. Count remains at
Let's bring his lunch.
great catch from the third baseman from Queensland, William Bailey. Retires Nathan Brown for the second out of the innings. Brings to the plate left fielder Dion Harrison, who in the top of this innings added to his highlights reel with a fantastic layout catch, diving backwards and across to save his team possibly 3 runs off the strike of Marshall Cronk. Game just gets better for Harrison as he lines one into right field. First pitch for a base hit. Runner on first, brings to the plate the original leadoff centre fielder Scott Patterson. And his last 2 at-bats, he had a hit to 7 and a fly to 6. So he's been making solid contact during the game. And the Queenslanders are now trailing Western Australia 2-1. Leaves that one up in the zone for ball 1. Strikes that one straight across to the shortstop, relays it across to Merriman at first base, and that'll be all that they wrote for the Queenslanders in that at the bottom, the Western Australians in the bottom of the 4th innings. So as we come to the top of the 5th here in the Hawker softball complex with the Queenslanders leading 2-1. And the first 3 hitters to face for Queensland in this, the top of the 5th, will be Sean Goffer, the centre fielder, Tyrell Priestley, the shortstop, and Carlos Waller-Allen, the right fielder. Still pitching for the Western Australians is Tyson Duncan.
Come on, Goffer! Yeah, that's what I thought. Put up a potato before.
Sitting in the tree and they're all really hot and flapping their wings.
Come on, Shorty, start it up.
It's a bit of a worry.
The umpires for this game are at the plate, Trevor Murphy, at first base Lee Evans, second base Damien McCauley, and at third base we have Jason Carter. Pitching for Western Australia is Tyson Duncan, as Sean Goffer gets into the plate, takes the first pitch for a ball low. Second pitch also ball low, is in a count of 2 balls, no strikes. Goff drives that one straight out to centre fielder, who camps underneath it, takes an easy fly ball for the first out of the innings. Brings to the plate the shortstop, Tyrell Priestley. Duncan loses that one high for a ball 1. Priestley fouls that one back to give us a count, even up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Priestley lines that one into centre field for a base hit. Brings to the plate the right fielder, Carlos Waller-Allen. Attempted bunt there by Waller Allen, put foul for the first strike. No balls, one strike.
No, I played with him in minutes the last few years. Right, you know, I left him last year.
Oh, so you're not with me?
No, I went over to Wigan, took the kids over to Wigan. The teams over there, I wasn't playing. I was only halfway through the season.
Duncan loses that one high for even up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Waller leaves that one and gets called strike from umpire Murphy for a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Unlucky, Carlos. Come on, Billy.
Come on, Billy boy!
Oh, good job, Billy. Go, run it.
I think extra run, brother. Run halfway, stop, make them chase you. I'll stop.
We fought with the momentum, like those masters, but with the momentum.
These guys will strike very short. They just was that base up and we'll have a good base. We up.
One, I think. One on Carlos and the strikeout.
Goffer would lead off on you.
Goffer
Would lead off. Two.
2 down. Go, Chelsea.
Yeah, the boy. Good Hollywood.
Why run?
Sell a little bit better.
Yeah, no, straight to your knees.
No. Things like that don't happen.
Right up around between me and the ball, he got a bad hop. So that'll get near him, rather run on the field and get the fence.
On Chelsea.
You got a target now. And one again is he's the only girl for him. You tell him to start playing by himself. And you don't
Ow.
threw the bat at him.
Darby hit a few batters.
That never.
Maxie threw the bat at him. Darby never had another bat at him.
Brings to the plate the original lead-off hitter, James Purcell. Purcell today has had a fly 8, had a safe bunt to the second baseman and a K2, with runners on each of the bases, 2 out, and the Queenslanders leading 2-1.
Third one was cheap. He definitely had the charge. Aaron Stevens in the middle saying, "Stop, boys."
Carol, Lindsay Carroll?
Lindsay,
From Auckland.
I played with him Auckland.
Yeah, from Auckland.
From Youngford, he moved over here.
Come on, Timmy.
Young fellas.
That's his young fella catching for us too.
Yeah.
That's his young fella.
Oh, yeah, Lindsay's here. I haven't seen him.
Oh, it goes up to the government.
Yeah.
Goes up to the government.
Oh,
his son plays the same one.
Purcell steps in to take his pitch. Tyson Duncan. Purcell has a swing, fouls it back for strike 1.
Because Damon's back on the left one. Tough
Come on, James.
Yeah.
You either did the work or you performed the
Yeah. I know.
no problem with
Yes, go, 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 yes!
Great confusion there with the ball getting away from the catcher. The third base runner staying at his base, catcher throwing the ball back past the pitcher, only to have the third baseman finally make his way home and be called safe at the play at home plate.
He'll be around somewhere.
Lindsay working on it. Damn it, Sydney did.
I thought Lindsay still comes in.
Yeah, but yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
Purcell hits that one across to the shortstop, relays across to first base
Good job,
for the
boys.
third out of the innings, but not before the Queenslanders scored another run and take a lead of 3-1. Bottom of the 5th innings for the Western Australians, and their first hitter will be the DP Mark Harris, followed by the shortstop Brendan O'Byrne and the catcher Andrew Havercroft. So in the top of the 5th, the Queenslanders scored a run off 2 hits, a couple of base on balls, and now lead 3-1. Earlier in the tournament, when these two teams met, the Queenslanders were victors 5-4 over Western Australia, and are in a strong position right now, leading 3-1 going into the bottom of the 5th. Brings to the plate DP Mark Harris. Takes a low pitch called ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Chases that one, fouls it off. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Leaves that one up high for 2 balls, 1 strike. Leaves that one right across the belt buckle for a called strike for 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Short.
Pokes that one out. Shortstop tracks back. Unfortunately couldn't complete the catch. And Mark Harris is aboard. Brings to the plate the shortstop Brendan O'Byrne. O'Byrne lets the first one go high for ball 1. That one gets away from pitcher Cronk for ball 2. Wild pitch. And the runner advances to second. Big swing and a miss from Byrne on that occasion. 2 balls, 1 strike. Chases that one, fouls it back. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's just loaded up, eh? Him and Damo used to play 3 ball. Every time you think, you know, like you have a stretch of the game, next one's going to be.
Byrne chases that one up high, and that'll be the first out of the innings for a K2. Brings to the plate catcher Andrew Habercroft. Called strike, or no balls, 1 strike. One gets away from Conk. 1 ball, 1 strike. Havercroft lets that one go. Called low by umpire Murphy for 2 balls, 1 strike. Has a hack at that one, Havercroft fouls it back. Goes straight back down into the catcher's leg. Gives it a bit of a shake off, gets himself ready again. We've got 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good pitch from Cronk, has him swinging and missing for the second out of the innings. Brings to the plate the right fielder, Kyle Francis. Francis lets one high go for ball 1. drives that one into centre field. Centre field comes round, the runner advances as the throw at home cut off, and the run will score on a Kyle Francis base hit. Brings the score back to 3-2.
It's about 3-1 now to Queensland, I think. Queensland's up, I think it's 3-1, maybe 4-1 at the most.
3-2. Thank you very much. Check my little official. Oh, you're going to love technology. Yeah, otherwise I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, 3-2. 3-2, bottom of 5. Okay, 2 out.
Change for the Western Australians with Sean Duxbury coming out and being replaced by Jason Garner. Jax Burt also comes into the game to run for Kyle Francis. So in the bottom of the 5th, scores a 3-2 with runner at first base. But there is 2 out already for Western Australia, but they have scored a run and brought the score back to 3-2. Called strike on Garner for his first pitch. Garner lets that one, not happy with that call. 0 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first base. Lets that one go for a called ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Called on the swing there from the umpire for the 3rd out. But not before the Western Australians pulled a run back to make the score 3-2. So on 1 base hit and a muff fly, the Western Australians were able to score themselves a run and bring themselves right back into the game at 3-2. And at the top of the 6th, so the top of the 6th for Queensland, the leadoff hitter will be the left fielder Danny Brown, followed by the first baseman Ryan Merriman and the pitcher Marshall Cronk. Western Australia trailing Queensland at this stage 3-2 as the umpires take a short heat break once again. I'll remind you of the partners that ACT Softball share here as sponsors with Canberra, the Tradies, ID Athletic, Momentum Sports and Rehabilitation, Canberra Toyota, Pacific Facilities Management and Keegan Carroll Photography. Very important people in any sport, the sponsors, and it's great to have them on board. Your umpires in today's game are at the plate Trevor Murphy, first base Lee Evans, second base Damien McCauley, and third base Jason Carter. Queensland lead Western Australia here in the top of the sixth, 3 runs to 2, in what's been a very entertaining game.
That's all right.
States here, it's not a heat problem. We did that 1 year in Sydney. Yeah, we did that 1 year in Sydney and Harvey came out with a hit. It was 52 off the match. They've gone, yeah, but you sit there, we're not even sweating like you come to Brisbane, it's hot when you stand in, you sweat, you're not doing anything. And West Australia just come out of the heat wave. And we've gone, we want to keep playing.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. We do what we can. When I first came, I was in
Welcome back to the Hawker Softball Complex after our little heat break there for the benefit of the umpires. All right for the players to go back into the dugout and get a bit of shade and a bit of water. The poor old umpires are stuck out there for the whole 7 innings, and sometimes we need to give them a little respite. So for the top of the 6th innings, we've got Danny Brown leading off, the left fielder for Queensland, followed by Ryan Merriman, the first baseman, and Marshall Cronk, the pitcher. In what has been a very tight duel so far, the Queenslanders lead 3 runs to 2. Called ball there for the first pitch of the top of the 6th. Oh, that one gets right away from Duncan there. That's ball 2 on hitter Danny Brown. Leaves that one alone, Brown, and it gets called by umpire Murphy for strike 1. Brings the count to 2 balls, 1 strike. Great shot from Brown, gets across to the shortstop, who gets it across to the first baseman, who picks that one. Fantastic play all round by the first baseman and shortstop, and that'll be the first out of the innings. Bring to the plate Ryan Merriman. Merriman fouls that one back for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike of the count. Merriman drives that one into right field, falls short of the right fielder for a base hit. Merriman gets himself aboard once again. Brings to the plate Marshall Cronk, who in the last innings had a hit robbed of him by a fantastic catch by the left fielder Dion Harris. Comes to the plate, 1 out, runner at first, and Queensland leading 3 runs to 2. That one gets away from the pitcher, but the catcher is equal to it and picks that one out of the dirt. Ball 1. That one's a change up, not hitting the zone, and for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Cronk hits that one back to the pitcher, Duncan, who relays across to first for the first out of the innings, but not before, second out of the innings, I apologise, but not before Merriman gets himself across to second. Brings to the plate the centre fielder, Sean Goffer, who has consistently hit the ball today, only to have fly 8, a fly 9 and a fielder's choice 5. Leading 3 to 2, runner at second base, 2 out here in the top of the 6th. Fouls that one back for strike 1. That one's low for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one goes up for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike on the hitter, Sean Goffer. That one's down low for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. One's low and away for ball 4. Gets himself aboard. We now have runners at first and second. Brings to the plate the shortstop, Tyrell Priestley. All of a sudden, Duncan seems to be struggling a little here. That one's a little low also. Ball 1. One's low and in. Ball 2. Priestley fouls that one back. 2 balls, 1 strike.
No, the game was in I'm on, Ty! Brandon's cranky because we were at home when he got them.
Fouls that one back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one gets away from the pitcher. Advances both runners. Fills the count on Priestley, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out, top of the 6th. Queensland leading 3 runs to 2. One's low and fills the bases. Tyrell gets himself a walk. Brings to the plate Carlos Waller. No, looks like we're going to have a change here. Waller Allen will be coming out and will be replaced by Hollands. Jordan Holland steps in, takes a pitch for his first at-bat of the game.
Come on, George.
Come on, George! And he plays on her way.
That one again is a little low. 2 balls, no strikes. Watches that one go by. It's called strike for 2 balls, 1 strike. Looked a little low, but called strike there by umpire Murphy for evening the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hollands pokes one in behind the first baseman. The second baseman comes around, makes the play. And that'll be all. First 3 hitters to face for Western Australia in this. The bottom of the 6 will be Dawson Summers, Nathan Brown and Dion Harrison. Dawson Summers steps in. This is the bottom of the 6th innings. Swings that one, connects with a shot into the centre field and gets himself aboard with a base hit. Will bring to the plate third baseman Nathan Brown. Western Australia trailing Queensland 3-2.
Come on, Marshy!
I used to play with Mo's brother.
That one up high, left alone by Nathan Downs. The ball one.
It's close.
Come on, Marsh.
Brings to the plate left fielder Dion Harrison.
Yep.
Come on, Marsh.
Lets that one go for call strike one. Harrison's 2 for 2 for today with a hit to the centre field and a hit to right field.
Come on, Marsh.
Shut up, Marsh.
That one gets away from Cronk, well over the catcher's head. Summers advances
I
on
just
the wild
happened to look.
Third one out.
Come on, Marshy.
Dion Harrison with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Harrison fouls that one back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Harrison fouls that one back. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Come on, Marsh.
That one called low for 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Come on, Marsh.
Once again low for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We've got a full count. Harrison fouls that one back. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. Hit through the second baseman's legs, scores the run, ties the ball game at 3-3. Brings to the plate leadoff hitter, Scott Patterson. Want to go for a ball. Patterson pops that one out. Centre fielder takes the catch. Harrison retreats back to first base, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Brings to the plate DP Mark Harris. Big swing and a miss for Mark Harris. Harris gets one past the shortstop, Priestley. Base hit. Harris advances to second base. Two out brings to the plate Brendan O'Byrne, the shortstop.
Come on, Marsh.
Byrne hits that one directly at Priestley, who takes the catch. Into the innings, but not before they scored a run to tie the ball game up. Top 7 for Queensland. The hitters will be William Bailey, the third baseman, followed by Joshua Del Simon and James Purcell.
Western Australia have had 7 hits but not completed. And they've both teams have had 3 errors. Yep. Not surprising in this heat.
Not bad, actually.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not going to read the play-by-play, sorry. Okay. Oh. I know. Yeah. She's just beat me for the most viewers, 98 live. I had 89. Bugger.
That's a sickness. Yeah, that's sick. Yeah. See, I wouldn't have let another ride.
Second pitch a little high, that's 2 balls.
No, she wouldn't.
And that one's a little low for ball 3.
The guy just about had both.
There I go. No, we might not. Let's go.
One call strike on Bailey. 3 balls, 1 strike. Called strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Did you see after day 2, Bailey
Bailey pokes that one into right field for a base hit. himself aboard.
So, Scott,
Will bring to the plate James Purcell.
and so Scott calls us in for a meeting and says, don't worry guys, there'll be a lot cooler tomorrow. And it's break 40.
Make sure they get something.
See, that's why you.
Batting now for Queensland, Joshua Del Simon, the the second baseman. Runner at first, none out. Great effort from the catcher, only to have the third baseman run over the top and knock the ball out. Foul ball. Fielded by the first baseman, relays the ball across to first base for the first out of the innings, but not before William Bailey gets himself across to second.
Can you just carry me down there, Marie? No. Oh, do you want to think about that? Oh, no, after I offered you extra, yeah? Hey, guys.
Called strike one for Purcell, one. No balls, one strike.
Are you is that us or you guys?
Goes after that. No balls, two strikes. One out and a runner at second. Hits that one to the shortstop, relays it across the third for the tag, for the second out. Jordan Hollins comes in to run for the catcher. As Danny Brown steps into the box, the left fielder. Runner at first, two out.
See what scored off that.
Yeah.
Second to home. Didn't need to go, did he, mate?
Come on, Ryan.
I'm going to get this one. Come on, this one. I'm going to get the line. If it's too late, I can see you.
Come on, Runda.
Brings to the plate, Ryan Merriman, the first baseman. That's that one by, ball of strike.
How did he get his name Ronda?
I don't actually. I have no idea.
We went away one year and they all played on girls, so we gave them all girls' names.
Oh, really?
And that's what his name.
And he's just stuck.
Yeah.
Merriman drives that one but hits the ball far too well, straight at the centre fielder who takes the catch. That'll be all they wrote.
Yes. No, no, no.
Coming into the bottom of the 7th innings, the game's tied at 3-3. And the 3 hitters to face for Western Australia will be Andrew Hovercroft, Carl Francis and Jason Garner. Hovercroft swings at the first pitch there, pokes it out to the left fielder, who duly takes the fly ball, and that'll be the first out of the innings. Brings to the plate Carl Francis, who's re-entered for Jack. Francis dribbles a ground ball at the second baseman, who relays across the first. The second out of the innings. Brings to the plate Jason Garner.
I'll make sure.
Two balls, no strikes on Jason Garner. As a hack at that one for swing and foul. 2 balls, 1 strike. Low for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Scores are tied at 3-3. Gets a called strike on that one, Garner. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That one's up and in for ball 4. Brings to the plate Dawson Summers. Does that one back for strike 1.
It's not climbing up again.
It's so refreshing. Sprays are tough.
Big swing and a miss from Summers. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes.
We're actually not.
So many strikes would have been over and we wouldn't have had 5 in the break game. That umpire when it's a draw. Always said that Morris.
A couple of walks, but it's all right.
Yeah. So that's the time on the third base where we won't be getting home. Or if that's the winner mate, then we should get home.
Well, they got thrown out there, should have scored.
Yes, correct. Game over, eh? No, I'm good. Line red, please.
Line red.
You don't even drink.
Not since Guzzling came in.
Hey?
Not since Guzzling came in.
Mate, you guys don't get one round.
Hey, that's what it comes out as.
Leopard.
Right, isn't it? Yeah.
I asked a question last week why they didn't have 6 umpires on the final. They didn't have enough.
What? Drafted ones.
Yeah, on the grand final. No, on the 17th. Man, that was, yeah, I know, but it looks a lot better when there's a few more of you out there, so you can make more mistakes.
I was going to say, but it looks pretty bad when they get it wrong, 6 of them.
Brownlow went up to Nev and said, why aren't there more of you? And Nev says, what, you want to pick on more of us?
I didn't even get out of my seat.
Yeah, that was just surprising. They only had 3. Yeah. Even if there was one at second base, like 4 of you.
If you've had 3 all tournament, you stay with 3. You definitely, if we've had 4 all tournament, we had it.
No, we only had 3 on the ground playing last year too.
Yeah, but we only had 3 man assistants. Shut up! Is your mother coming to Sydney next week?
Yes. And Dad.
And Dad too.
Drive down tomorrow.
So what uniform are they wearing next week?
Nothing. Blue shirts.
Blue shirts.
They can change to Queensland when they let
Well, we've had parents here have had, one was playing for South Australia, and one was playing for New South Wales in the 15s. Supposed to be 40 to 50 degrees in Melbourne, isn't it? Or Adelaide. Adelaide was 56 degrees in the tennis last night.
Yeah?
Where?
The tennis. Because they get it from their stadium and just.
That's in Melbourne, isn't it?
And then they were talking this morning about having like heat, like us, heat policy.
They should have. It should be. Well, we do it in the workforce.
Well, they just close the roof and turn the aircon on.
Got over a certain degree in Canterbury, that was it. 3 years go home. I know in New South Wales, they used to, New South Wales and Victoria, we've got past a certain temperature in the boundary. That was it, down till.
Well, it's not enough, is it? Let alone the heat coming on. they've got a roof down in Melbourne. Let's put the roof on.
Somebody said, oh no, that's right, it can save money, we don't have to put lights on. This is me, right? By the time they bring the roof over, it's just right.
You should talk to her. She's sitting right here. You don't have to.
We're not talking to each other.
They're all like that.
Check the temperature.
It's not even hot. Look, I'm not even sweating. It's not like back home.
I don't think it's that hot. It's
Sun's
not muggy, it's just heat.
just hot. Dry heat.
Yeah.
It's like the lady over there from Queensland's got a jacket. She's got.
Glenn?
Yeah, look.
Glenn.
This is Glenn.
That's Jordan's dad.
Oh, is it? I used to have it on a week.
I know, he's wearing tracksuit pants and a jacket. He's like, I don't want to get burned. Do you want to get heat?
Get under the shade. Or is he doing live
He's
stream?
It's live stream. Is that a phone in it?
Me. I don't answer when I'm on the phone.
Who's changed their catcher? They changed their catcher?
Oh, Nut was catching before.
What time did this game start? 12:30. Holy shit. That's so long. I know.
No, I wouldn't. From second, they run me second.
Four parents in behind it.
Bad. Nuts is Mr. Nut.
This game's almost been going for
3 hours, I know.
Welcome back to Hawker Softball Complex. After our heat break for the umpires, we're going into the top of the eighth, which is international tie-break rules. Ryan Merriman will start at first base with Marshall Cronk, the hitter. He'll be followed by Sean Goffer and Tyrell Priestley. That one gets way away from the pitcher there. Catcher had no chance of working on that. We have a new catcher in Duxbury, and he's come from first base, and been Andrew Havercroft has gone up to first base. So a quick swap, 3-2, 2-3. Merriman goes across to third base on the wild pitch. Cronk hits that one very, very hard. The short left fielder couldn't get to that one, robbed him a little earlier. Gets himself across to second, and Merriman will score.
Come on, Bob.
He's due for something.
Brings to the plate Sean Goffer. It's a called strike, first one up. Ball one, strike one.
Yeah, I know.
We had a 40-something last week.
It was like a 45. Just as long as it doesn't rain, I'm happy.
It rained as well.
That's one thing I can't deal with, raining.
Pops that one up, but that's going to go way back for a foul ball. 2 strikes. Goffer once again just under that, fouls it back for another foul ball. Gets that one across to shortstop. Great play by the shortstop. Relays across to the first base for the first out of the innings. Brings to the plate Tyrell Priestley with one out, a runner at second base, and the Queenslanders having already scored a run, leading 4-3. Gets that one inside, takes it on the arm, gets himself a walk. Brings to the plate the right fielder Jordan Hollands. Shows bunt, gets one lone, leaves it alone, ball one.
Come on, George.
One's up and out of the zone, leaves it alone again for ball two. 2 balls, no strikes.
Scored one. Scored one.
Got one out, runners at first and second, and Queensland are now leading 4-3. Oh, called low again by umpire Murphy for 3 balls, no strikes. Ball 4, the ball gets away from the catcher. Each of the runners will have advanced anyway from the pass ball, also from the base on balls. We now have loaded bases.
Absolutely not. Line up Marshall.
Surprise, eh?
Another ball, ball 1. Loaded base with 1 out. William Bailey at the plate. That's that one pass for strike 1. On ball 1 strike. Comes up again for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Fly. Still alive, still alive. Missed. Oh, you guessed it again.
The hitter was an infield fly. Marshall Cronk tried to advance to home and was thrown out at home, but not before. Queensland scored a run and now lead 4-3.
Didn't have to run.
Which is what the
But the rule is you hold the bait.
You don't have to run.
No,
Run
I'd
on the hit.
say he hasn't heard or didn't understand
won though.
Oh, and Danny. Wrong.
These guys are probably still one. We might not be leaving, mate. We'll be here for the night games.
I thought if someone starts again with the read. Only for the player that came on before then. Oh. So he would have to come. He would have to
Us can only get back on for Jordan.
Geordie. Everything else we put Danny. Oh, I could be right.
Oh my God, first.
He's calm these days, even with the rookie shade on.
No, first day.
Bottom of the 8th innings coming up. The lead-off hitter will be Nathan Brown, the third baseman, which means Dawson Summers in international tiebreak rules will start at second base.
He was this close to getting some One of them stuck their cleats stood on line side. Was this their last game against Sunday? Or ACT? ACT.
Wrong leg.
Come on, Marsh.
That one's up and out of the zone for ball one. Up and out of the zone again, ball two.
Come on, Brownie!
Strike one on the inside there, 2 balls, 1 strike. Pops that one up and way back foul. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. How's that one off again? Quality at bat from Nathan Brown working the pitcher overtime. One gets away from pitcher Cronk, walks. Now we have runners on first. Dion Harrison steps into hit. Takes one back. It's up. It's gone foul.
That's so scary.
Harrison is 3 for 2. So 2 for 3 so far today. And his last at bat was a very hard hit ball at the second baseman who was unable to make the play. No balls, 1 strike on Harrison. Attempted bunt there makes it 2 strikes. Pops that one up. That's an infield fly. Automatic out there for Harrison. Brings to the plate the leadoff hitter, Scott Patterson. Swing and a miss for Patterson, strike 1. Makes the play there for the out. Gives Queensland the win. Fantastic.
Oh, there's another going.
Great running, WA.
Game.
I wonder if there's football today. We're going to go back a bit.
Yeah. Billy!